I'm glad you were able to meet me out here. Yeah. I'm also glad you didn't tell the cops. Throughout the week, I was watching you, and it would seem that, well, you didn't say anything to anybody. So that means we can continue on as usual. Or as planned, at least. Now, okay, listen, you can't object to this. I've decided you're coming with me, and that's final. Alright? Tonight is not the night of a full moon, so we should be able to trudge through the woods relatively quietly. I'm gonna have to ask you to keep your voice down, though. If you were to see anything off-putting from me, just know that I'm defensive of you because you're in the dark. Alright? Alright, sweet. Okay, follow me. So, I wanted to talk to you a bit more about where we're going. But first, I'm going to tie this rope around your hands. Yeah. Alright, come on. I don't want you to get any ideas about escaping me or hurting me at all. Alright? Alright, sweet. Because any sort of disruption out here could be difficult. Let's just might say. Alright? Alright, fantastic. Come on. You know, I never expected you to be so prudent about coming with. I always thought you'd be more accepting of the situation. I don't know. I sort of assumed you were, and I put this on, you were undecided on how you felt about the city, but apparently you liked it a lot. Couldn't understand wanting to leave the city. I mean, your parents don't live there, your family doesn't. I did some research on them, by the way. I know your mother and father are divorced. I'm sorry to hear about that. But I doubt there'll be much worry. You won't be seeing them again. Yeah, you'll be fully indoctrinated into this world that you live in. Yeah. Anyways, by this world, I'd like to let you know that I mean my world. It's the world you now live in, you're now part of. You have to deal with the fact that almost all those things you thought weren't real. You know, just stories that nurses would tell their, people they're watching over, children, pretty much. A lot of those are true. There are indeed vampires as well, werewolves, all sorts of demons, all these factions living underneath the surface of this world, hidden from everybody else. And as much as I would like to think that they all have an understanding, we don't. The werewolves and vampires, it's been a story almost as old as time about them fighting. And it's none of that Twilight shit where, they fight but they're really friends and shit like that. No. We don't get along at all. And when we go out to fight, it's out for blood. Yeah. I would say over the years, thousands and thousands, possibly millions, have died because of it. Yeah. I am quite old, as I told you last time, but I found that there are people, well, calling them people be charitable, I found that there are demons, you might say, that are much, much older than me, much more powerful. See, age in our world is a relatively important number. the older you are, the more experience you have, the more abilities you know and that have been unlocked to you. Unless you have somebody training you that is much older as well, you tend to never, ever be able to reach that higher level without spending years and years practicing and practicing and practicing. I did have somebody help me, so for a couple 3,000 years old, I am well versed, let's say, in my ability to perform functions and actions that are required of me. Anyways, smell that? Well, of course you don't. It seems the wolves are far enough away. In their human form, they're relatively, weak. They still have some of that super smell and super strength that you would typically expect from their kind, but it's not exactly a confirmed thing. Their speed is a lot slowed down, and they're a lot more manageable in their human form. Yeah, there only seem to be a couple of them. I doubt they're going to attempt to fight us or cause any issues like that, but I do think we should be careful, so go ahead and start moving quickly with me. Come on. So, I want to let you know that there is no choice for you anymore. My smell is going to be constantly around you, and if you were to escape, you'd be possibly mistaken for me, and if not, you'd be killed for sympathizing with me. That's of course unless another vampire finds you, and I very much doubt they will treat you like I will. On that note, please do not try to run away. I'm typically more gentle with those I bring with me. I like to think of them as companions, though I guess the proper term would be pets. I will feed on you when time comes. That's alright. Typically the process doesn't tend to kill anybody or end anybody's life, but it has become, how would I say, difficult for some people to be able to accept. It's an unfortunate phenomenon, and it's weird. Some people find it actually quite pleasurable. But after I feed, you would need a couple days to relax and rejuvenate, until which I will feed again. I chose you for a number of reasons, not because I just liked the way you acted and the way you kindly treated everybody that you knew, but also the fact that you weren't unpure in any way. Not only pure of heart, but pure of mind and pure of body. Typically the blood you feed on as a vampire tends to affect your mood. You feed on somebody incredibly angry, you tend to become angry and agitated. You feed on somebody that's sad and sorrowful, you become one of those emo vampires, you know. Some of them like to bite their own wrists and stuff like that. But besides that, they tend to become a lot more quiet. They have somebody who's antisocial, and so you're pure in a way that wouldn't affect my current personality and how I am today. Well, yes, I would consider that part of a good side of me, where I don't want to be who I'm not. I know where I am and what my anger is, and the amount of work I do to keep that down, and the amount of time I spend working on myself to keep me from becoming something I'm not. There was a time where there was a major human war, which you would think was fought between, let's say, two different factions or nations, about Byzantium and the Ottoman Turks. Well, the Turks were almost entirely vampires, while the Ottomans were a race of demons, fallen angels, if you will. They had angered one of our great leaders, and he declared they should be destroyed. And so when I said I didn't want another Byzantium situation to happen, well, the reason for that is the siege of Byzantium, where thousands were put to the sword. Those thousands were not humans, even though there was no actual evidence of it being otherwise. Those thousands were vampires. And telling you any of this. Helps us pass the time. We're almost out of the forest, as you can see ahead. Come on, we're heading to a brand new life. You're coming with me, and nobody else can take you from me. I'd like to let you know that the more I spend time watching you, the more I learn about you, the more I study you from the shadows, the more I realize that I am truly in love with you. But that is a story for another time. Come on, I have a bunch of other vamps waiting for me up here. Keep your head down, don't say anything, they'll all just assume, okay?